92% of people will hear this and still walk away unchanged. Not because they didn't understand it, but because they were too distracted. Too comfortable, too asleep in their routine to actually live it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly paused? Not to scroll your phone, not to chase money, not to impress people, but to sit quietly and feel the presence of God in your life. We wake up every day chasing things that will never stay, while ignoring the one who has always been with us. And the truth is, most people don't lose their way overnight. They lose it slowly, silently, by ignoring the small guidance God sends them every single day. Today I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to wake you up. Because the life you're living right now, it's either taking you closer to God or further away from Him. And the choice has always been yours. Most people believe they are lost in life. They wake up feeling confused, anxious, like the world is spinning too fast and they can't catch up. They scroll endlessly on their phones, comparing their lives to the highlight reels of others, thinking, why am I behind? Why does life feel so heavy for me? They look around and see chaos, bills piling up, work deadlines looming, relationships failing, dreams unfulfilled, and they panic. But here's the truth that 92% of people completely miss. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are not wandering without direction. What has happened is far simpler, yet far more profound. You are distracted.
Think about a person sitting in traffic, honking, frustrated, angry that they are late, missing an important appointment. Their mind is racing with every problem, every responsibility, every regret.
But the road ahead is the same road it always was. The directions haven't changed. The path exists. The only difference is their focus. Life works the same way. God has placed guidance, purpose, and direction inside each of us. Like a compass we are born with. It's there, always pointing toward what is right, what is meaningful, what is eternal. But we often ignore it because we are distracted by noise, the constant pull of messages, notifications, worries about money, fears about failure, desires for instant gratification. Consider someone at home scrolling through social media late at night. They see a friend's vacation photos, a colleague's promotion, strangers living lives that seem perfect. The person feels small, insecure, and overwhelmed. They don't notice the quiet voice inside them telling them to pray, reflect, or take a meaningful action. That voice is God's guidance, but it is drowned out by endless distraction. We fill our lives with things that make noise, so we never have to face the still, quiet, undeniable truth. God is speaking to us, but we have stopped listening. Even in everyday conversations, distractions rule. Someone may sit across from a loved one and nod while their mind races about work or plans. They are present physically but absent spiritually. They miss the opportunity to connect, to love, to grow. God is always present, always reaching out to us through the people and moments in our lives. But when our attention is scattered, when our hearts are busy chasing meaningless things, we walk right past these moments thinking we are lost, when in fact we just didn't pay attention. Now think about your morning routine. How often do you wake up, grab your phone, check messages, emails, notifications, and social media before you even acknowledge your existence in the present moment? Even acknowledge your existence in the present moment, you rush through the morning hurried and distracted, unaware of the chance to pause, to reflect, to feel God's presence. God doesn't need elaborate rituals or perfection. He needs attention, a moment of stillness, a moment of awareness, a moment of listening. When we give ourselves that moment, the fog lifts, clarity arrives, and the path that seemed hidden becomes visible. You are not lost. You just needed to stop scrolling, stop running, and listen. Even in nature, God's guidance is present. A tree doesn't question its growth. A river doesn't panic when obstacles appear. It flows around them. The sun rises. The stars appear at night. The seasons change with rhythm and order. Life around us follows a pattern. But human life often ignores this order because of distraction. We want everything on our timeline, our schedule, our terms. And in that constant demand for control, we miss the signals God places in our lives. Opportunities, people, lessons, moments of insight. They all arrive, but we are looking somewhere else. That is why we feel lost, even when we are already on the right path. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. They spend hours scrolling through social media, checking messages, binge watching videos, while the exam date approaches. They panic last minute, feeling overwhelmed, thinking they are incapable. In reality, the resources, guidance, and time were always available. They just allowed themselves to be distracted. Life is like that too. God equips us with wisdom, opportunity, and strength every single day, but distractions keep us from using these gifts. When we silence distractions, when we focus, when we truly listen to the guidance God places in our hearts, the path that seemed unclear becomes bright, and what felt impossible becomes possible. So, the next time you feel lost, stop blaming the world or yourself. Stop running in circles. Stop trying to figure it all out in noise. Instead, pause. Take a deep breath. Step away from the constant pull of distraction. Sit in silence, even for a few minutes, and feel God's presence. And feel God's presence. Look at the people around you, the tasks in front of you, the blessings in your life. The answers are there. The compass is working. You are not lost.
The answers are there. The compass is working. You are not lost.
You are simply distracted. And when you choose awareness over distraction, when you choose God over noise, your path becomes clear. Your life starts to align. Your heart becomes lighter, and suddenly what seemed like chaos transforms into purpose, direction, and peace. You are not lost, you are simply distracted. And that is the most hopeful truth you will ever hear, because it means the path is already there. Because it means the path is already there. You only need to stop, notice, and follow. Most people spend their lives chasing something. Some chase money, thinking that the more they earn, the happier they will be. Others chase approval, constantly trying to impress people, seeking validation through likes, compliments, or recognition.
Some chase success, believing that the next promotion, the next opportunity, the next achievement will finally bring peace. But here's the truth that almost everyone misses. Whatever you chase
is the thing that ultimately controls you. Think about someone working tirelessly to buy a new car, a bigger house, or a brand name gadget. Every hour, every ounce of energy, every sleepless night is invested into acquiring it. They think they are in control, that they are making choices freely. But the moment their attention is consumed by what they are chasing, they are no longer free. They are owned. The car, the house, the object of desire controls their were their thoughts, their emotions, their sense of self-worth. Every setback, every delay, every expense, every comparison becomes a storm in their mind. That is the invisible leash most people never notice. Consider a young professional who constantly seeks approval from their boss. They stay late at work, agree to every task, say yes to every demand, hoping for praise or recognition. But in doing so, their happiness is no longer in their own hands. It is in the hands of someone else. A single criticism can ruin their day. A single overlooked effort can make them feel worthless. The approval they chase has become a master, and they are its servant. This is the subtle, unseen way life often enslaves us without us realizing it. Even in relationships, what we chase controls us. Many chase love, affection, or validation from a partner. They bend, compromise, and lose their own values, thinking it will make them secure. It will make them secure.
But when your happiness depends entirely on someone else's attention, mood, or choices, you are no longer living freely. You are living under the rule of another human being.
God never intended for your joy, peace, or purpose to be dictated by fleeting external sources. Yet most people surrender to these invisible chains because they are blinded by desire. Now, imagine someone chasing fame or recognition. Social media has turned countless lives into a constant race for attention. Every post, every story, every picture becomes a measure of worth. The moment your self-esteem hinges on the number of likes or comments, you are no longer the master of your own mind. Your audiences, your peace, your confidence, your contentment, all become controlled by a variable outside your hands. That is the power of the chase. What you pursue with intensity becomes what drives you, dictates your choices, and steals your freedom. But there is a way to break free, a way that transforms life from endless pursuit to peaceful purpose. And it is as simple as it is profound. Chase God. When you make God your priority, when your energy, focus, and heart are aligned with the divine presence, something extraordinary happens. Suddenly, what once controlled you, the constant worry, the obsession with outcomes, the fear of missing out, loses its grip. You are still human, still ambitious, still active, but your life is no longer dictated by fleeting desires. Your goals become guided, your actions become meaningful, your freedom is restored. Think about a farmer tending his crops. He cannot control the rain, the sun, or the weather. But he trusts in the natural order and he works with care, dedication, and attention. He does not chase the harvest desperately, he nurtures it patiently. Life works the same way. When you chase God, you are not running blindly after something that can fail you. You are aligning yourself with the source of wisdom, guidance, and abundance. You work with intention, but you do not live in anxiety. You pursue, but you do not become enslaved. You strive, but your heart remains free. You strive, but your heart remains free. Even in daily life, the principle is clear. A student who chases knowledge for the sake of learning, understanding, and growth finds joy in every small step. But a student who chases grades, awards, or external recognition becomes anxious, restless, and easily discouraged. The chase controls them. Similarly, a professional who works to serve others, to contribute meaningfully, finds satisfaction and peace, while the one who works purely for money, power, or status becomes trapped in stress and competition. The key difference lies in what you allow to command your heart. If you chase external things, approval, wealth, recognition, you hand over the steering wheel of your life to forces outside your control. But if you chase God, truth, purpose, wisdom, love, you align yourself with the ultimate source of guidance, peace, and freedom. What you pursue daily is not neutral, it shapes your thoughts, your emotions, and your destiny.
So pause and ask yourself honestly, what am I chasing today? Is it something that controls me?
Something that can fail me, leave me empty, or steal my peace? Or is it something that empowers me, grounds me, and aligns me with the divine presence that is always guiding me? Life is simple. The chase determines your chain. Free yourself from the wrong pursuits, and your heart will soar. From the wrong pursuits, and your heart will soar. Chase God, and you will discover a freedom that no wealth, no approval, no achievement could ever give you. Because here is the ultimate truth. What you chase may be controlling you, but the right chase will set you free. Pain is something we all try to avoid. Pain is something we all try to avoid. From the moment we wake up, we look for comfort, ease, and happiness. We spend our lives planning, striving, and protecting ourselves from suffering. Yet, no matter how careful we are, life has a way of giving us challenges we cannot escape: heartbreak, failure, disappointment, loss, betrayal. Most people react to these moments with fear, anger, or despair, thinking, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? But here's a truth that few realize. Your pain is not meaningless, and it is not punishment. Your pain has a purpose. Think about a child learning to ride a bicycle. The first few falls are painful, and every scrape makes them want to quit. The child doesn't see the bigger picture. They only feel the immediate sting. But each fall teaches balance, focus, and resilience. Without those falls, the child would never learn to ride. Life works the same way. The moments of discomfort, struggle, and loss are shaping you, teaching you, and preparing you for something far greater than you can see right now. God doesn't waste pain. Every challenge is a lesson. Every heartbreak a teacher. Every failure a guide toward growth. Consider someone starting a new business. The first year is filled with obstacles, financial stress, doubts from family and friends, mistakes that feel like they set everything back. Most people give up because they focus only on the difficulty. But the pain of the struggle is actually sharpening their skills, strengthening their patience, and deepening their understanding. Without the struggle, they would never develop the resilience needed to run a successful business. Pain, in essence, is the invisible architect of character. Even in relationships, pain plays a purpose. When someone experiences betrayal, heartbreak, or the loss of a loved one, the immediate reaction is grief, anger, and confusion. It feels unbearable, and it seems unfair. Yet, in those very moments, we learn empathy, compassion, and self-awareness. We discover boundaries, values, and what we truly need in our connections with others. God uses pain to awaken wisdom within us, to show us what we must hold on to and what we must release. Every tear carries a lesson. Every heartbreak carries a message. Every disappointment carries a direction. Think about a person training for a marathon. Every sore muscle, every moment of exhaustion, every early morning run in the cold feels unbearable. The temptation to quit is constant, but each step, each moment of struggle is building endurance and strength. Pain is not a barrier, it is preparation. Life works the same way. Every difficulty you face, every problem that feels too heavy, every failure that knocks you down is preparing you for your greater purpose.
God is shaping your strength, refining your mind, and training your spirit through each trial. Even in everyday, small moments, the purpose of pain is clear.
A parent staying up all night with a sick child feels exhausted and drained. A student facing repeated failures in school feels hopeless. A professional dealing with criticism or setbacks feels frustrated and discouraged. But these moments are not meaningless. They cultivate patience, teach problem solving, strengthen courage, and deepen gratitude. Pain is a quiet teacher that whispers lessons we often fail to hear until we look back. God uses every hardship, large or small, to prepare us for future opportunities we cannot yet see. It's important to understand that pain does not define you, it shapes you. The world may see scars as weakness, but God sees them as signs of growth. Every struggle endured, every setback overcome, every moment of suffering embraced with faith adds depth, wisdom, and strength to your character. Life doesn't just happen to you randomly. Every challenge is a tool, a guide, a stepping stone toward the person you are meant to become. Look at people who inspire us, successful leaders, compassionate souls, those who bring light to the world. Almost all of them share one thing in common. They endured pain and used it as fuel, not as a reason to quit. Pain taught them resilience. Pain taught them humility. Pain taught them patience. And most importantly, pain taught them to rely on and God, to trust that the struggle was temporary and that it carried within it a purpose that would unfold with time. So, the next time life brings hardship, don't run from it, don't resent it, and don't despair. Sit with it, reflect on it. Ask yourself, what is God trying to teach me through this? How can this moment shape me into a stronger, wiser, more compassionate person? Your pain is not your enemy, it is your mentor. It is preparing you, refining you, and pointing you toward a destiny that only God can reveal. Remember this, no hardship lasts forever, but the lessons it leaves behind last a lifetime. Your struggles are not wasted, your tears are not meaningless, and your challenges are not punishments. They are part of the divine plan shaping you into someone capable of greatness, wisdom, and peace. Your pain has a purpose, and when you embrace it with awareness, faith, and courage, it will lead you to the life you were always meant to live. In today's world, silence has become a rare and almost forgotten luxury. Diska, we are constantly surrounded by noise, phones buzzing, messages pinging, alarms ringing, conversations overlapping, and responsibilities pulling us in every direction. We have filled our lives with so much activity that the simplest moments of quiet feel uncomfortable. Most people think silence is emptiness, but the truth is far more profound. Silence is where God speaks. It is in the quiet, unseen moments that guidance, clarity, and wisdom reach our hearts, if only we are willing to listen. Think about a moment when your mind is racing at night. You lie in bed, thinking about your past mistakes, worrying about the future, wondering why life isn't going the way you imagined. The room is quiet, yet your thoughts are loud. You feel restless, disconnected, and desperate for answers. But in reality, the answer is not in more noise, not in distractions, not in scrolling endlessly for advice or entertainment. The answer is in stillness, in those moments of silence when you close your eyes and breathe deeply, when you stop reacting and start observing. God begins to communicate in whispers, through your intuition, through a feeling of peace, through a sudden insight, or through a sense of direction you never noticed before. Even in daily routines, silence has power. Imagine a person walking through a park early in the morning. The birds are singing, the wind brushes against the trees, and the city is slowly waking up. For most, this moment is background noise, something to rush past on the way to work. But for someone who embraces silence, this moment becomes a meeting with God. The gentle rustle of leaves, the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of their own heartbeat, all of it becomes a language. All of it becomes a language. God speaks in this quietude, teaching patience, presence, and appreciation for the simple wonders of life. These small silent moments anchor the soul, giving clarity that no amount of chatter or busyness can provide. Even in relationships, silence carries wisdom. Consider a disagreement with a loved one. Most people react immediately, raising their voices, arguing their point, trying to be heard over the noise. But when you pause, when you sit quietly and reflect before responding, you gain perspective. In that silence, you can hear not only God's guidance, but also the truth of your own heart. You see where compromise is needed, where forgiveness is necessary, and where pride can be set aside. God often speaks in the space between words, in the stillness before action. The louder the world shouts, the more essential it is to seek silence. Even in work or creativity, silence is a powerful teacher. Many great thinkers, artists, and leaders have attested that their breakthroughs came not in the rush of activity, but in moments of quiet. Reflection. A scientist struggling with a problem, a writer staring at a blank page, an entrepreneur planning a new project, they all reach a point where thinking harder doesn't help. It is when they step back, close their eyes, and enter silence that the answer appears, subtle, clear, and unexpected. Clear and unexpected. God works the same way in our lives. Answers, insights, and inspiration often come not through effort alone, but through intentional pause, reflection, and openness to divine guidance.